In case you don't know, Oversoul was the first 13 and up rated game by Artix Entertainment that focused around PvP based card battles. So, pretty much a Flash browser trading card game that encourages more grindier activities by going out and claiming other souls, hence the name Oversoul, as opposed to microtransactions such as Hearthstone and other online trading card games where you have to buy packs to create a better deck, get a better meta. In Oversoul, the thing that really mattered was how you played your character. Capturing other souls would be the central theme of the game in terms of lore and gameplay in Oversoul, with most of your time being spent exploring this top down browser world and fighting enemies to unlock, level them up, and in turn fight other people or move on to the next. So the only real progression you would get in Oversoul was, evolving your character and getting new characters. And after that, all that came was PvP. So there wasn't much there, but the concept was. So basically, as you would capture the creatures, it sounds very similar to Pokemon. So yes, a mix of Pokemon and a trading card game with a little bit of an MMO RPG element. With that, you get Oversoul. Of course, one of the drawbacks, but also strengths of the game, was this concept of soul gems. Obviously, the game is free, so how are we going to make our money? Soul gems. So in the game, soul gems allowed you to buy exclusive characters and other things. But more importantly, they halted progression, I would say. It was its biggest strength and its biggest drawback. You could only evolve certain characters if you paid the amount of soul gems that it required, and you could only capture characters that escaped your clutches by using soul gems. If you wanted to buy new card packs to diversify your deck, you have to buy more soul gems. So as you see, through the course of time, soul gems become pretty important. This is the way that Oversoul, circumvented this free aspect of the game and really kind of made you want to buy soul gems. I think it's very different from other Artix Entertainment games where the only real thing you can get with exclusive, currencies are cosmetic items. In Oversoul, they could very well make the difference between you getting that rare character you spent 4 hours finding or you being the meta in the game. So you could call it a pay to win element, but I think it was really smart. So, of course, Soul Gems was one of the big things of Oversoul. But besides that, the game had a ton of potential. It could have very well branched out from Artix Entertainment and become its own standalone game. And I'm sure if it were that way, the game would have continuously been updated, given that when Miltonius was kicked off the Artix Entertainment team, the entire game was put on hold. I'm not exactly sure who was doing all the coding and artwork behind Oversoul, but I do know that Revantius, who is Kotaro AE now on Twitter, and Nolgath, and I believe some others were the ones that worked on this game for majority. So it fell into that Hero Smash cycle, which, by the way, if you don't know, Hero Smash is a game that came out at the same time that also got shut down. That also had a very small team on it. So obviously, it had the potential to become a great trading card game that didn't require you to put that much money into it. But I'm sure that if the game received a revamp in terms of its combat system and, of course, constant updates to the game's quality of life, the game could become so much more. I believe that similar to Hero Smash, the desertion of Oversoul as a project needs an official statement by the team. I think there wasn't any explanation for why the game was dropped. Simply put, Adventure Quest 3D is more important, as we all know. However, there is still hope because the game's servers were updated to reflect Halloween after being left on the same Christmas map for years. So perhaps not all hope is lost, hopefully. So hopefully, this video can shed some light on the forgotten game and get others to play it. Because if you want to check it out, all you have to do is go on the Artix launcher and you can play it there for free. So I think it deserved a lot more. I think in terms of creating unique art, there was no type of customization given that every single character in Oversoul was playable. Every single NPC that you found in the world was playable, and they all had stages that you could evolve them with. If I were to point out something that was missing, I think PvP was a pretty big aspect of the game, as is with most trading card games, but it was very simple and there was no layout to it. There was no incentive to play PvP besides when the game did its official PvP tournaments. Besides that, there was no other reason to do it except maybe a couple XP, a couple gold. There was a lot of RNG at play. If you wanted to get a character, you had to keep exploring an area in the wild until they randomly came up. And obviously, if you don't have soul gems and you fail the capture, then I don't know who's going to want to play your game. I personally found myself farming for a character once for about 6 hours, and eventually he spawned, and I failed the capture with the soul gems, but I didn't, I didn't have any, so I couldn't do it, and I lost the character. And obviously, eventually, I went back and got them, but me not getting the character is what made me straight up go like, okay, we're buying soul gems. So maybe they were right in that regard. But I think it really just needed a bigger community focus. I think more quality of life updates. I think a story to keep players hooked. Events besides go out, get monsters. Hey, a new monster's dropped. Go catch it. And I mean, that was pretty much it. It was just a constant back and forth, which it's a fun game, but again, I I think it was ahead of its time, low key. But there you have it. Oversoul, the Forgotten Gem. Thank you.